A sci-fi masterpiece that has sold over 10 million copies, inspired NASA scientists and Star Wars. Have you read Foundation? It's not just a novel but a mirror reflecting humanity's fate, asking how we rebuild hope when civilization collapses. Why does it still captivate hearts across half a century? Let's dive into Isaac Asimov's Galactic Empire and uncover the secrets of psychohistory. From bookstore kid to sci-fi legend, Asimov's journey. Isaac Asimov was born in Russia in 1920 and immigrated to Brooklyn, New York, at age 3. He grew up in his family's candy store, sneaking reads of Amazing Stories magazines. At 10, he began mimicking the sci-fi tales he loved. At 17, he submitted Marooned Off Mars to Astounding Stories, and though rejected, editor John Campbell's encouragement sparked his dream. In 1941, at 21, Asimov wrote Nightfall, depicting a planet's religious crisis triggered by stellar anomalies, showcasing his knack for blending science and human conflict. This story launched his career and laid the groundwork for Foundation. In 1942, Campbell's idea of a decaying galactic empire inspired Asimov to create the Foundation series. He recalled, "I imagined a science that predicts history through mathematics, where science meets destiny." This concept drew from Edward Gibbon's The History of the Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire and the scientific fervor of the 20th century, birthing psychohistory. Asimov's path wasn't easy. In the 1940s, he worked days at a naval shipyard, typing stories at night, often facing rejections. In 1951, Foundation's first volume was published, becoming a bestseller and winning the 1966 Hugo Award for Best Series. Over 50 years, he wrote 7 books, later merging Foundation with his robot series, crafting a universe spanning 20,000 years. His autobiography states, "I'm no prophet, but I believe science can illuminate the future." His faith in reason permeates every page of Foundation. The birth of psychohistory, science or fate. Foundation's core is psychohistory, a discipline predicting human behavior through mathematics. The protagonist, Hari Seldon, the Galactic Empire's greatest mathematician, foresees its collapse within 500 years, followed by 30,000 years of darkness. He establishes the Foundation to preserve knowledge, aiming to shorten the Dark Age to a millennium. The novel opens, "Psychohistory isn't fortune-telling, it's a science based on statistical laws." This sets the story's rational tone. Psychohistory's roots lie in real science. In the 19th century, French mathematician Laplace proposed determinism, suggesting that knowing all particle states could predict the future. Early 20th century statistical mechanics made group behavior predictable. Asimov fused these ideas, envisioning a science analyzing billions of people's trends. Seldon's model resembles modern big data, forecasting societal shifts, not individual fates. Real-world parallels exist. In the 1950s, economist Herbert Simon used mathematical models to analyze organizations, founding management science. During the Cold War, the Rand Corporation used game theory to predict Soviet strategies, echoing psychohistory's prototype. In 2010, data scientists predicted U.S. election voter trends with 80% accuracy. These examples show psychohistory, though fictional, is grounded in scientific ambition. Yet, psychohistory has limits. Seldon warns, individual actions are unpredictable. Sudden events can derail models. This mirrors chaos theory, where tiny variables cause massive deviations. Asimov uses this to explore the tension between science and free will. Can we escape destiny's script? Seldon's plan seems deterministic but hides variables, sparking deep reflection. Psychohistory's real-world echoes, from Cold War to big data. Psychohistory isn't just sci-fi, it ties to 20th century science and society. During the Cold War, superpowers raced to develop predictive technologies to control the future. In the 1960s, Rand's Delphi method forecasted tech trends via expert consensus, akin to Seldon's group analysis. In the 1970s, Meteorologist Edward Lorentz's butterfly effect showed how small variables disrupt long-term predictions, like the Mule's disruption in Foundation. In the 21st century, big data made psychohistory more tangible. In 2008, Google's flu trends predicted outbreaks via search data, outpacing traditional models. In 2013, Edward Snowden's PRISM leaks revealed governments analyzing citizen data to predict threats. These technologies, though less precise than Seldon's, show data-driven decision-making's potential. Psychohistory's philosophical weight is profound. Questions whether rationality can fully control fate. In 2001, economist Thomas Schelling won a Nobel for game theory, showing group behavior's unpredictability. Schelling said, "Human irrationality is prediction's greatest obstacle," echoing Seldon's struggles. Foundation invites us to ponder, is science our salvation or another dream? A Russian doll of plot, 5 layers of epic twists. Foundation unfolds as linked short stories spanning centuries, with plots like Russian dolls, revealing Seldon's plan layer by layer. The first book follows 4 crises after the Foundation's founding, each resolved via Seldon's pre-recorded holograms, showcasing psychohistory's power. Here are 5 key twists. Seldon Crisis. The Foundation faces threats from neighboring kingdoms. Mayor Salvor Hardin uses religion to cloak technology, averting disaster. Seldon's hologram reveals the Foundation's mission to compile a galactic encyclopedia, a cover for preserving civilization's spark. Traitors Rise. A century later, traitor Haber Mallow uses economics to defeat enemies, showing psychohistory's indirect control. The Mule's Emergence. A mutant, the Mule, disrupts Seldon's predictions, conquering the Foundation and exposing psychohistory's fragility. Asimov writes, "Violence is the last refuge of the incompetent. The Mule's brief reign via force shakes determinism." Second Foundation. The Mule's defeat stems from the Second Foundation, a secret group of psychologists manipulating minds to protect Seldon's plan. Gaia and Daniel. Later, the Second Foundation clashes with Gaia, a collective consciousness planet, while robot Daniel reveals Seldon's ultimate goal, a unified galactic mind. Echoes the 20th century Gaia hypothesis in ecology. This nested storytelling makes readers detectives. Each twist subverts expectations while deepening the theme. Civilization endures through reason and adaptation, not lone heroes. Asimov's narrative mirrors modern thrillers like Westworld, weaving complex threads into a weighty historical tapestry. Hari Seldon, prophet or chess master. Hari Seldon is Foundation's soul, both scientist and strategist. He predicts the Empire's fall but doesn't prevent it, instead designing the Foundation to shape the next millennium. The novel states, Seldon never believed in miracles, only probabilities. His cool rationality is awe-inspiring yet controversial. Does he treat humanity as pawns? Seldon's real-world parallels are striking. Alan Turing's code-breaking in World War II, like Seldon's predictions, shaped history through math. John von Neumann's game theory, guiding Cold War strategies, mirrors psychohistory's group analysis. Seldon's duality, he's an idealist fighting for civilization yet a pragmatist hiding truths, makes him more than a hero. He's a philosophical icon. In 1962, Kennedy used Rand's predictive models during the Cuban Missile Crisis, avoiding nuclear war with data-driven calm, much like Seldon. Seldon's story teaches that in crises, reason and foresight are survival's cornerstones. The Hidden Hand, Secrets of the Second Foundation. The Second Foundation is Foundation's other great mystery. This covert group of psychologists, hidden at the galaxy's edge, corrects deviations in Seldon's plan. Their near-supernatural ability to manipulate minds adds intrigue but raises ethical questions. Does mind control violate freedom? Asimov writes, "The Second Foundation is Seldon's safety net." Its inspiration may come from 20th century psychology. In the 1950s, Stanley Milgram's obedience experiments showed how authority sways behavior, akin to the Second Foundation's subtle interventions. In the 1960s, advertising used psychology to shape consumer choices, like Coca-Cola's subliminal ads, sparking controversy. These suggest mind manipulation is no mere fantasy. The Second Foundation also mirrors Cold War espionage. The CIA and KGB used psychological warfare to influence enemies, much like the Second Foundation's tactics. In 1971, Soviet psychologist Vladimir Lefebvre studied collective unconscious, shaping public opinion, resembling Second Foundation strategies. Asimov uses them to probe power and morality. Is sacrificing individual justified for a greater good? Galactic Empire as metaphor, a 20th century reflection. The Galactic Empire in Foundation mirrors the 20th century. Its decline through corruption and infighting echoes the post-World War II collapse of colonial empires. In 1945, Britain lost India, signaling global power shifts. Asimov scales this to a galactic level, exploring how civilizations find rebirth amid decline. Psychohistory reflects the Cold War's scientific zeal. In the 1950s, NASA's founding fueled the space race, using technology to conquer the unknown, much like the Foundation. Seldon's plan parallels ideological battles. The Foundation's free trade versus the Second Foundation's mind control mirrors capitalism versus socialism. In 1969, Apollo 11's moon landing symbolized humanity's confidence, aligning with Foundation's optimistic rationality. The novel's crises reflect reality. The Mule's rise resembles Hitler's disruption, failing for lack of staying power. Gaia's collective consciousness foreshadows the Internet's information sharing. Asimov writes, civilization's progress lies in connection, echoing Tim Berners-Lee's vision for the World Wide Web. Traders, psychologists, and robots, a cast of archetypes. Foundation's characters aren't traditional heroes but era-defining archetypes. Mayor Salvor Hardin resolves crises with wit, not force, like Churchill's wartime diplomacy. Trader Haber Mallow expands the Foundation via commerce, reflecting post-war America's economic dominance. Psychologist Ebeling misunravels the Mule's secrets, akin to Turing's covert contributions. The Mule, a complex villain, manipulates emotions as a mutant, his loneliness and ambition evoking Napoleon's tragic arc. Asimov uses the Mule to explore an individual's impact on history. In reality, Steve Jobs disrupted tech with innovation but stirred controversy, much like the Mule. Later characters like Gaia and Robot Daniel carry philosophical weight. Gaia's collective mind challenges individualism, echoing 20th century ecological movements. Daniel, a robot guiding humanity for 20,000 years, embodies technology's double-edged nature. These characters paint a vivid portrait of civilization's rise and fall, civilization's cycle, from Rome to the galaxy. Foundation draws from Gibbon's The History of the Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire. Rome's fall from infighting, corruption, and invasions parallels the Galactic Empire's fate. In 476 CE, the Western Roman Empire's collapse led to the medieval Dark Ages, mirroring Seldon's predicted 300-year darkness. Asimov adopts historian Arnold Toynbee's challenge and response theory, where civilizations survive by adapting to crises. Each Foundation crisis tests this idea. Post-1940s, Europe's Marshall Plan revival and America's global rise resemble the Foundation's ascent. Foundation also explores cultural diversity. The Empire's uniform culture breeds stagnation, while the Foundation's blend of trade, religion, and science fuels vitality. In the 21st century, UNESCO reports show diverse cultures drive innovation, echoing Foundation's lesson, civilization thrives on inclusion and adaptation. Science vs. free will, the eternal clash. Foundation's central question is, can science dictate fate? Psychohistory assumes predictable human behavior, but the Mule's chaos proves otherwise. Asimov writes, free will is an undeniable variable. This echoes quantum mechanics' uncertainty principle, where randomness alters outcomes. In the 1960s, behaviorist B. Skinner claimed environment shapes actions, a view challenged by humanists. In 2008, Google's flu predictions faltered due to shifting human behavior. Foundation reminds us, science is powerful but can't capture humanity's complexity. Seldon's plan relies on the second foundation's interventions, suggesting reason needs emotion's aid. Martin Luther King's civil rights movement blended data voter demographics with passionate rhetoric, reshaping America's racial landscape. Asimov advocates a balance of science and humanity. Women's quiet brilliance, Beta and Arcadia. Foundation's female characters, though few, shine brightly. Beta Daryl, in Foundation and Empire, uses intuition to unmask the Mule, saving the Foundation. Her decisiveness and insight mirror weak codebreaker Joan Clark. Arcadia Daryl, in Second Foundation, uncovers the Second Foundation's location, showing a teenager's boldness and wit, like Marie Curie's scientific breakthroughs. Beta, an ordinary woman, turns the tide with keen observation. In 1943, Joan Clark cracked German codes at Bletchley Park, altering the war's course, much like Beta's intuition. Arcadia's adventurous spirit recalls Margaret Hamilton, whose 1999 Apollo code ensured safe moon landings. Foundation's women prove wisdom and courage transcend gender. From Cold War to AI, Foundation's modern resonance. Published during the Cold War, Foundation reflects nuclear anxieties. Seldon's plan resembles Rand's strategic forecasts, aiming to tame crises with reason. In the 21st century, AI makes Foundation strikingly relevant. In 2017, DeepMind's AlphaGo beat Lee Sedol, showing algorithms' predictive power. In 2020, ChatGPT's rise mirrored Seldon's psychohistory entering daily life. Foundation also foresaw globalization and ecological crises. Gaia's collective consciousness aligns with James Lovelock's Gaia hypothesis, urging human-environment harmony. In 2022, the UNClimate Conference stressed global cooperation, echoing Foundation's galactic unity. In 2024, Chinese scientists advanced quantum computing, echoing Seldon's mathematical revolution. These strides show Foundation's vision becoming reality, a symphony of literature and science. Foundation's allure lies in blending literature with science. Asimov's dialogue is sharp, like Hardin's quip, "Violence is the last refuge of the incompetent." Short stories form an epic, linked by Seldon's holograms, akin to 1001 Nights. Its science shines in psychohistory and world-building. The Galactic Empire draws from Einstein's relativity, with hyperspace jumps echoing wormhole theories. Asimov sees civilization as an organism, its rise and fall like biological cycles. In the 1960s, biologist Raymond Dart's human origin hypothesis tied progress to collaboration, mirroring Foundation's themes. This interdisciplinary vision elevates Foundation to a philosophical fable. Global impact, from NASA to pop culture. Foundation's influence is vast. In the 1960s, NASA scientists drew inspiration from Foundation for the Apollo program. In 1997, George Lucas credited Foundation for shaping Star Wars' Galactic Empire. In the 2000s, the Civilization video game series echoed Seldon's plan with empire building. In business, Elon Musk cited Foundation as a spark for SpaceX's interstellar vision. In 2018, SpaceX's Falcon Heavy launch saw Musk tweet Seldon's words, "Civilization's progress lies in connection." In 2021, Apple's Foundation TV series, though heavily adapted, brought psychohistory to the mainstream. These show Foundation is not just literature but a cultural beacon. Psychohistory's ethical dilemma. Psychohistory poses a moral question. Is it right to sacrifice truth for civilization's survival? Seldon hides the second foundation. Its psychologists manipulate minds to protect the plan. Asimov writes, "Truth can be the greatest obstacle." This recalls real-world dilemmas. In 1945, Manhattan Project scientists built the atom bomb, knowing its devastation, to end we. In 2004, Google's "Don't Be Evil" motto faced scrutiny over privacy-invasive data collection. Psychohistory's ethics warn that power must align with responsibility. In 2023, AI ethicists pushed for global AI governance to curb algorithmic abuse. Foundation offers a thought experiment for these debates. Memorable quotes. Sparks of wisdom. Violence is the last refuge of the incompetent. Psychohistory isn't fortune-telling, it's a science based on statistical laws. Civilization's progress lies in connection. Free will is an undeniable variable. Seldon never believed in miracles, only probabilities. Truth can be the greatest obstacle. Civilization's survival depends on adaptation, not confrontation. These quotes distill Foundation's wisdom, perfect for sharing, igniting reason and hope. They're not just the novel's essence but life's guiding lights. From foundation to reality, our tomorrow. Foundation is more than sci-fi. It's a mirror of human choices in crisis. Seldon's plan urges long-term thinking to face challenges. In 2020, scientists used data models to predict COVID-19 spread, akin to psychohistory. Rapid vaccine development showed humanity's collaborative power. Asimov's tale reminds us, civilization balances individual and collective efforts. In 2020, SpaceX's Starship test flight marked a step toward the stars. Elon Musk credits Foundation as a driving force. Seldon's reason and Musk's ambition together light the path forward. In 2025, China's carbon-neutral goals use algorithms to optimize energy, like the Foundation's knowledge building. These efforts show humanity's future hinges on reason and action. What's your foundation? After reading Foundation, does Seldon's rationality or the Mule's rebellion resonate more? In today's turbulent world, how do you fight for your own foundation? Share your thoughts. Your story might inspire others' hope. Whether chasing dreams or guarding beliefs, we're all writing our own epic.